Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shah being the name of his only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. And when you look at this nation, which runs America and the EU, NATO, and pretty much most of the West, and they reigning over all the other kings of the earth, all the other nations. They rule over them with their military and with their wealth, see, with their banking systems. This nation is not a new nation. See, they just wasn't uh, formed a couple of 1,000 years ago. They wasn't just formed 2,000 years ago. This nation has been the same nation it is now, but now it's flourishing on another level. And it's been flourishing for thousands of years. And so another thing that's been going on for thousands of years, they've been trying to hide their identity. They have a long time hidden identity. See, because they was adversarial. They was the Satan, because Satan means adversary. It comes from the Hebrew verb Satan, meaning adversary. They was adversary to the Creator. And so when you look at some of the ways that, some of the strategies that they use, just like a fugitive, let's get that. Let me start with that in Genesis. Because Genesis was a perfect example of how these individuals operate, because they have that adversarial spirit, that murderous spirit as Cain. You see, so let's get that. Let's get right to the point. Verse 14, it says, well, let's go with 13. It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, and that's what they say in Romans 9. Why have you made me thus? It says, verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. You see, it said, I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. You see, look at verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon him, lest any finding him shall kill him. So this adversarial spirit was put a mark on. And this is what this leprosy thing is about. When God wanted to put a mark on somebody, he would use leprosy so they can be identified. They can be identified because you can see the blood come from through their skin, and you can see that they will be red. That's why he named them. He gave them a name, just like he gave Jacob a name. He gave them a name when they came out of the womb with this mark, and he made it to where they was gonna have this leprosy when they came out. But that was so of an identifying mark. That's why they make skin color an issue, because that's their identifying mark. That's their the mark, like the mark on Cain. That's their identifying mark. That's why they want to put a mark on all humans, because they have a mark on all of them. See, and they have some tares that they come from their bloodline, but they had parents that was either uh, not leopards, and so they had get the traits and the meddling coming from their mothers, but their fathers was coming from this nation. So let's get into how this nation hides its identity. Now let's go into Genesis 20, let's see here, 27 and 38. Now we know this nation to be Esau, Edom. And look what he said after he was given the blessing by Isaac. Look at what he said in 41. He said, Esau hated Jacob, and because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. So Esau was thoroughly jealous of Jacob. He was the adversary of Jacob. He was Satan to Jacob. He was the enemy of Jacob. And what he did, look at what it says. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then shall I slay my brother Jacob. So he's plotting and he's planning on slaying Jacob in his heart. And this is a dark saying, because not just Esau is doing this. His whole lineage is hating Jacob because of the blessing, and they're planning on slaying him. So what do some people do when they plan on slaying people? Some, just like on the movie Belly, they dress up like a bum with dreadlocks and dirty clothes, and they walk up and beg for change. And when the person try to give you the change, you shoot them. Bow, 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 bow. You let your guard down. Or they'll put on a women's dress. They say another guy, a gang member, big time gang member in Jamaica, he would walk around the city with a dress on like a woman, disguise himself as a woman. So they would put on a disguise so they could murder people or hide away. And so this is why Esau is using that strategy, because he's using the strategy to hide himself so he can eventually slay his brother Jacob because of the blessing that was given to his brother. So let's get right into it. Let's see here. Let's get into it. Let's go to Exodus first. Exodus 17:15. It says, let's start with 14. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out of a remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven. Now this is also something that the Most High was doing. He was allowing these dragons to hide themselves so he can have a grand finale of prophecy. 16 it say, for he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So they went from Esau to being Amalek. See, let's go to Genesis 36 and get the names correct. It said, these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Okay, then you go down to 8. It said, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So Mount Seir is even a name for the Edomites. And so they always hid their identity. I got another one. Job. Job was in 28. Look at 28. It said the children of Desan are these, Uz and Aaron. Uz is where the Edomites established a landmass, and Job was living in that land. See? So they try to act like Job is just in some mysterious place. He is in the land of the Edomites. He is an Israelite. They was his adversary. Okay. So now let's get to Jeremiah. I'm going to try to shorten this one up. Jeremiah 49 and 10. It say, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. So Esau was going to be trying to hide himself because the Lord was going to expose him. Okay, Obadiah. It says, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things searched up? How sought up? How are his hidden things sought up? And so in 1681, they start calling themselves the white people, or white. And see, this was a new thought because nobody ever dealt with these things. Even when they came, Joanne Blumenbach, who initiated the situation, he was saying Caucasoid. He was going by the skulls and calling them Caucasians or Caucasoid. And he was saying the dark-skinned people was Negroid. See, he was really, he came with color, but he had a different name for it. But in 1681, they say we gonna make this thing where we all gonna be known as white people. But that really was the Lord, because man's goings are of the Lord. What's that? Proverbs. Let's get Proverbs real quick. There's a couple of them I want to hit in Proverbs. 20:24, it said, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? They would come outside with this mess. 21, it said, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord had Esau hiding his identity. And like I said, for the grand finale, look at 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. It said, let no man deceive you by any means. Because that's what Esau was going to do. For that day shall not come except the falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the falling away was for the Israelites. They was going to be hid. That's why Psalms 83, I think verse 3 said, his hidden one, they was going to be hid away. And then Esau was going to be hid away also. And so this is how the Lord planned his situation. At the end, both of these children, Jacob and Esau, was going to be put to the forefront, and it was going to expose the lies of the Edomites and show how they was going to be the main instrument who was going to do the hiding of these two nations. When you go to Hebrews, let's see, 11 and 20, it says, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So both of these children was blessed, but the Edomites will tell you that Esau lived away from the blessing and he became a poor man and a vagabond. No, he was given his blessing, and he been ruling since the Greeks, the Romans, and these Americans, and they was ruling even before then. They was still rich in their own land even before then. And so this is what was going on. Then when you look at Colossians 1 and 26, it talks about the same thing. It say, the mystery, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generation, but now is made manifest to his saints. See, the Israelites was going to get the revelation. That's Amos. Let's get it real quick. Amos 3 and 7. It says, surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants the prophet. See, the saints is the prophets, and the prophet is the Israelites. Look at 20. It's Amos 2 and 11. I'll raise up of your sons for prophets, and for your young men for Nazarite. Is it not even thus, O children of Israel, says the Lord? So they are the prophets, and they are the saints that's going to get the revelation of these two nations that is going to be battling. Okay? And so Esau was going to hide himself and been hiding himself for thousands of years. Look at how he hid himself in Joel 3. Now, all of the theologians will tell you Joel 3 is about the second coming. But Joel 3 is also about slavery. See? It says in verse 1, for behold, in those days and that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. That means he's going to return them out, bring them out of captivity. See, that's what this whole thing is about. That Esau has the rulership and he has the yoke around his brother's neck. Okay, so then he goes into the second coming situation when he gathered all the nations, like in Revelation 16, like in Zephaniah 3 and 8, like in Isaiah 34, verse 2. But he's going to gather these nations and war with them. And he's going to war with them for the Israelites to bring them out of captivity. But see, look at verse 6. It says, the children of Judah and children of Jerusalem have ye sold to the Grecians. So they calling themselves Grecian. But the Bible exposed who these Grecians were. Verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a wilderness. So Edom is the one that this Grecian thing is talking about. It explains itself in the same chapter. That's the only nation that was spoken of. See, family that was spoken of. So when you go to Sirach, I'm going to end it with that Sirach. I like that verse 20 and 10. It says, no, 29, Salakia. It says, there is a sinner that have good success in evil things. See, that's the man of sin. The Edomites. They have good success in evil things, and their gain, and there is a gain that is turned to loss. See, their blessing is going to turn into the curse for them. Them putting the children of Israel in captivity is going to turn into a curse for them, where they're going to be punished for putting the children of Israel in the captivity. And that's how that situation was going to work with Esau. And look at what he said in verse 10. He said, there is a gift that shall not profit you. So the gift of you having servants for thousands of years or however long the captivity lasted, that is not going to profit the Edomites. He said there is a gift whose recompense is double. See, he gave them a gift of putting the Israelites serving them, but they going to have to pay double. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Revelation 18. Look at what he said. We talking about a gift now. He say, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she has filled to her double. Now, who is this her? Obadiah gonna let it be known. Okay. Let's see here. It talks about the cup and everything. Right here in Obadiah. Now I'm thinking, yeah, 15 and 16 say, for the day of the Lord is near to all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, thy reward shall return upon thy own head. That's what it says in Revelation. And this is talking about the Edomites, man. That's why we know Babylon is ran by the Edomite, the great city. It say, for ye have drunk upon my holy mountain. There go that cup. So shall all the heathen drink continuously. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. So this gift that they had, that the children of Israel was spread into all nations, and they was being served, being servants to all nations. These people are going to have to drink it back down when he raised the Israelites up and give them the blessing. And the Edomites is hiding from this thing. But that's all part of the Lord's plan. And they not going to be able to hide no more. See, they hid for thousands of years. But like he said in Jeremiah 49:10, you're not going to be able to hide no more, man. The Israelites, the saints, the prophets is revealing them, which Christianity never talked about an Edomite outside of he selling his birthright. So I'm gonna leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, Hashem Kakadash. The ones to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.